It's too much. It's too often. We keep going down the same paths, over and over again.
A white gunman killed 3 black people in Jacksonville on Saturday. That's where we're starting the show. I'm Jeff Pierre, and this is The 7 from The Washington Post. It's Monday, August 28th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. The attacker drove to Edward Waters University, a historically black college, but was refused entry. He then went to a nearby Dollar General store where he opened fire. He fatally shot himself after the attack. Law enforcement said the 21-year-old gunman hated black people and left evidence that the attack was racially motivated. Authorities say he purchased the 2 firearms he used in the attack legally. The victims were Angela Michelle Carr, who was 52, Anolt Joseph Laguerre Jr., a 19-year-old Dollar General employee, and Gerald Deshaun Gallion, who was 29. The shooting happened just ahead of the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. Thousands had gathered at Lincoln Memorial to commemorate the event, but then the news of the shooting broke. Yesterday, Reverend and civil rights activist Al Sharpton spoke at Andrew Rankin Memorial Chapel at Howard University.
Hate jumped back up again to remind us that we're not there yet. Those folks in that dollar store weren't marching. They weren't agitating. They were just black going shopping, which reminds every one of you, until we can fight all of this racism and anti-Semitism and homophobia and misogyny, till we get rid of all of it, all of us could be the next victim.
Number 2, Russia confirmed Yevgeniy Prigozhin's death after DNA tests. The Wagner mercenary chief was killed in a plane crash last week with other leaders of the group. Russian officials said yesterday that they're continuing an investigation into the causes of the crash. But because of Russia's murky investigation system, we may never know what really happened. Many in Russia's elite believe it was an assassination ordered by the Kremlin. Prigozhin challenged President Vladimir Putin's power and led a short-lived mutiny against the Kremlin in June. Number 3, Florida's Gulf Coast is under a hurricane watch. Tropical storm Idalia was intensifying last night on its way to the Gulf of Mexico, where forecasters say it'll become a strong hurricane. The Hurricane Center has issued hurricane and storm surge watches for large sections of Florida's Gulf Coast. There's another potential problem. Officials have warned of fuel contamination across the state's Gulf Coast, which could damage cars and strand drivers as Idalia approaches. You can follow Idalia's path with the Washington Post Storm Tracker on our website. Number 4, Bob Barker, who hosted The Price is Right for 35 years, died this weekend at his home in Los Angeles. He was 99. Barker was a familiar face on TV for half a century, hosting holiday parades and beauty pageants. He starred on the popular game show from 1972 to 2007. Barker was also known for his animal rights activism. He would end every episode of The Price is Right by reminding his audience to get your pet spayed or neutered. Number 5, nearly 5,000 pilots are suspected of hiding major health issues. Federal authorities have been investigating the pilots. They're suspected of falsifying medical records to conceal that they were receiving benefits from mental health disorders and other serious conditions. These issues could make them unfit to fly, but most of the pilots under investigation are still flying. And one U.S. official said about 600 of them are licensed to fly for passenger airlines. The inquiry has exposed long-standing vulnerabilities in the FAA's medical system for screening pilots. Number 6, the U.S. Open gets underway this morning. The tournament is being held at the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Queens. It'll run through the singles finals on September 9th and 10th. The favorites are Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic, who are seeded first and second on the men's side. Djokovic missed last year's tournament because of the U.S. government's COVID vaccination policy for non-citizens. Alcaraz won the tournament last year. The top women's seeds are defending champion Iga Swiatek and Aryna Sabalenka. You can watch all the action on ESPN and ABC. Number 7.
She's the best in the world and back in a big way. Simone Biles starting on vault.
Simone Biles is the national gymnastics champion again. Biles won by a massive margin to secure a record 8th all-around title at the competition in San Jose. At 26, she became the oldest woman to win. It's an impressive comeback. Biles took a 2-year break after the Tokyo Olympics when she withdrew from multiple events. She'll be a favorite at next year's Paris Olympics. That's the show for today. Don't forget that a great way to dig deeper on the news is through a subscription to The Washington Post. Just go to washingtonpost.com/subscribe to sign up. I'm Jeff Pierre, and I will meet you back here tomorrow.